soundbite preaching, an epic of rage, stitchwork, and the long game of salvation. I was stitched together by highways and hollers, by South African dust and Newark rain, by the hiss of jailhouse doors and hymnals in borrowed rooms. I woke with a fist full of years and a mouth full of thunder, and the muse leaned close and fed me rage like a sacrament for the impossible. There is no black man in America more enraged than I declared to the right, and the night answered with echo. But rage wore soft shoes and tender hands. I loved my neighbor like a bone I could not let go. I fed the children and stitched the torn shirts. I sat with mothers whose hope was stitched thin. The devil sits on my left shoulder, smoking the old slogans, spray can clenched in a fist that remembers midnight raids, the roar of boys turned men by hunger and sorrow. He whispers, paint the city with fury, tag the walls with holy profanity, make the air arrest you, make your name a headline, let prison be the chorus to your righteous cry. On my right shoulder the saint sits, Augustus Tolton, in a cassock of quiet fire, a patient eye in a world that forgot names. He offers the slow work of mercy, the patient march of law and love. Spray, says the left, and watch them tremble. Apply, says the right, and watch them change. I was Frankenstein-like, sewn with fragments, a panther's temper, a minister's lesson, a lover's laugh. South African nights where stars tasted like revolution, and Newark alleys where the pavement taught anatomy of loss. I carry a passport of pain stamped in uprisings, the DNA of 2 Liberians, living echoes, and the memory of 13,000 sent to forget us on foreign coasts, and I carry their faces like bread. I was baptized in fire, forged by beatings, by barbed wire, by joy I could not name. And God took these pieces and said, make a body. The body learned to love and to rage, to be tender with the widow and hard with the liar, to laugh in the back of the classroom and weep at the altar, to teach children how to pray with fists clenched. I am a hood hopper. I moved where the heartbeat had rhythm and truth. I learned softly and safety in crumbling bricks, comfort in the smell of frying plantains and boiled faith. Most of my brothers boarded the blue bus to prison, gone like songs in a cheap stereo. I shared their savage education. I tasted the same curry breakfasts and survival. But I rose like a rose that reached the sun, petals torn but stubborn, roots sunk in asphalt, but seeking light. I am the survivor of a garden burned and saved. I wore rage like armor, but under it I was a man in ministry. I taught kids to read like the world would not take them. I walked mothers to graves and held their names. The left shoulder called for spectacle, for the quick exorcism of walls and windows, to write fuck Sherrill across the stones of power, to summon cameras and the clatter of arrests. The right shoulder counseled patience, to enter the schoolyard with petition and pen. The no and the knock softly on the dean's oak door, to file, to study, to change the masters by learning their ledger. A life of service is not a contradiction but a garment, stitched from rage, thread, and mercy silk. I wore each scene like proof that God can hold opposites, that the cross is 2 beings, never one. My romance with a Newark Panther taught me history in the mouth. She carried a Sada and a Feeney like lit candles. We moved through the memory of the Panther 21. Her stories braided my blood with theirs. In South Africa, I learned that pain is a language and oppressed tongues teach, and how you to pray with clenched teeth. I watched small hands build barricades of hope. I learned that rage can be a grammar of survival. I met radical scholars and older prophets, John G. Jackson's Ghost and Clark's Thunder. I drank from Chancellor Williams' well until my throat knew truth. Their books mapped a route back